What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms, BrandonJaneauShow. And of course, social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, BrandonJaneauShow. And of course, like always, YouTube channel, man. This is really where you can catch it all. BrandonJaneauShow on YouTube channel. So go and subscribe, watch, view, comment, do it all on there, man. Let's get into it. First things first, welcome back football. Let's go, man. Week one is officially almost out of here, man. Two more games tonight. One tomorrow night, of course. One tonight, Dallas, New York. But before I get, of course, I'm gonna talk about that on I Bleed Sports, and I'm gonna talk about week one and week two of college football and what's going on around the world of sports. But until then, tonight is just about the New Orleans Saints. Who that nation? Yes, sir. Man, we won today. Season, of course, like I said, is officially upon us. Week one was today in the Superdome, Caesar Superdome, the Caesar Superdome, uh, and we played the Tennessee Titans, um, and it was pretty much what I expect. Like, pretty much what I expect. Very sloppy first half for us as a team. Very sloppy first half for us as a team. Um, really bad. Um, yeah, really sloppy first half as a team for us. Um, but we will pick it up in the second half because it is the first freaking week of the season. A lot of players didn't really play in preseason. Demario Davis really didn't even play at all in preseason, so he had to kind of get himself back into formation what he needs to do. And so let's get into it. Like I said, first half of the game, um, just very sloppy um, for us as a team. Defensively, Derrick Henry um, was doing Derrick Henry things, um, was killing us very early in the game, running the ball. Uh, it looked like last year's defense in the first half. That run defense was very spotty. It couldn't really stop anything. Um, but again, when it got down to the red zone, they stopped them. And this is something my brother Juan said. My brother Juan said this, and it's true. It's the Saints. It literally is the Saints. We'll give you every yardage up until you get to the red zone, and then after that, we shit you the hell down. And that's exactly what this was. We got to Ryan Tannehill a lot today. Sacked him a couple times, but more so that Tennessee's offensive line, which I thought would be very shaky and very non-trustworthy, was very shaky and very non-trustworthy. Um, Speaking of the first half, in offensive lines, New Orleans Saints offensive line. Trevor Penning, who we drafted last year, who, yes, rookie year, technically, he didn't really have one last year. He had turf toe for most of the year. Then he injured himself again before the end of the season. So he really didn't play a lot last year. But it still doesn't make up for you not being able to fucking block. That is incredibly bad. We couldn't run the ball at all today. And by the way, something I was very mad about in the first half. We started doing more of in the second half because we couldn't create the run game. Taysom Hill. They're using Taysom Hill in the first half is more like a tight end, and in the second half you saw them say, "All right, fuck that. We got to run Taysom Hill. We got to physically use him as a running quarterback now. We got to use him in the wildcat. We got to do what we usually do with Taysom Hill." That kind of gave a little bit more spunk to the offense because we needed it. Derek Carr threw a pick before the halftime, but for the most part, he made pretty good decisions, which is rare for a Derek Carr game. But he did what he was supposed to do. He made a couple of big plays when we needed him. Scored the only touchdown in the game to Rashad Shaheed. Um, my biggest problem with the Saints during the preseason was my biggest problem with the Saints in the first game of the season. They can't run block. They are a terrible run blocking team. They cannot run block. And exactly as I've been saying, that is exactly what happened in this game. Jamal Williams barely could get anything going. The best run of the game was the last run of the game when we needed to literally ice the game. We got the best run of the game. So for what it's worth, Alvin Kamara only makes up so much of that offense. Michael Thomas is back. That's a positive take. Michael Thomas had an amazing first. The beginning of the game, you could tell like he was back. As the game progresses, what I've been saying about the Saints, Chris Olave is going to have a great year this year, and this is why I feel this way because if you saw this game from the first half, first quarter was all Mike Thomas. First half was all Michael Thomas. You're trying to spread it to other people. But the second half, second quarter, third quarter, fourth, that was Chris Olave game. It was a Chris Olave game. Exactly what I thought he would be. I like the new formations they're doing with him. They're rolling him out of the backfield. They're actually putting him as like a second running back and then letting him run out. And Juwan Johnson is kind of like blocking out other guys. It was a good game for game plan. Kendrick Miller didn't also play, so we really didn't have that 1-2 punch that we usually would have in the running game, which is I think is another thing that didn't really help the fucking running game. Um, like I said, Trevor Penning struggled all this game, and listen, Adrian Key is good. Adrian Key is real good, but he ain't that fucking good. Like the fact that he played like he was back at LSU against this dude was criminal. It was bad, man. I was oh my god. Takeaways from the defense. We didn't give up a touchdown today, which people don't realize. We didn't give up a fucking touchdown. We gave up what 5 field goals? Yeah, 5 field goals, and that's it. 5 field goals for the defense. That's pretty damn incredible to have. But also on top of that, Ryan Tannehill is Ryan Tannehill. Which, by the way, another positive. The interceptions, the turnovers that we were creating. A couple of those picks just was a terrible play um, by them. But of course, like the Saints, they don't make shit easy on themselves. Late in the game, a couple of penalties almost cost them a lot of situations. But again, 3 turnovers for the Saints defense. Um, we held up Derrick Henry. First half, he had like 64 rushing yards in the first half. He had like 20 in the second. Like that is a crazy. Now, of course, again, that's more so on Tennessee trying to spare him some of this. And I actually thought that would be a good idea, but again, you don't have an offensive line that is capable of that yet, and you don't have a quarterback that can actually spare you of a guy like Derrick Henry. This offense is Derrick Henry centric. It is Derrick Henry dominant. So if you completely just 100% think you can you can outbeat somebody with that, and plus Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry does not have chemistry yet. They don't have that type of chemistry because they didn't play in the preseason. So of course they don't have chemistry like that. This was the best time to get Tennessee. I'm gonna be honest. This was the best time to get Tennessee because as the season progresses, that offensive line is going to gel more. Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill will create some energy, and Derrick Henry will be more on that field. Not like today. He was in the second half. They just completely just forgot about him, and that's something that you cannot do if you're Tennessee. Um, for the Saints, next week we got Carolina. They looked terrible today. I was shocked at their defense really didn't do shit. I know it's Desmond Ritter, and that's not really anything to say, and that's not much to brag on. But it's still they gave up 24 points, and I haven't heard a Carolina team give up 24 points. And yeah, Bryce Young has some interceptions, but still, it's 24 fucking points. And you don't really hear that a lot about a Carolina defense. Um, do I think next week we can kind of do what we did today and win the game? Hell no. I think we need to learn how to run block. And Tennessee doesn't have the same type of energy, same type of pressure, and same type of situations that Carolina brings. Carolina is always a scary game for us, especially early in the season in Carolina. But when your offensive line look like they did today, when I've been saying the running game, run blocking is the most damning part of that offense for us. Now it's pass protection on the left side. That is a scary feeling to know that your left tackle can't fucking help, can't protect your damn quarterback. Now when Alvin do come back, you kind of have to now say, do we need to leave a tight end in? Do we need to now play two tight end sets? Because if that's the case, because you need a damn person that's gonna help pass block with this guy. Also, Andrews Pete, I don't know if he's injured or what, but him not also being there is not good. Hurst is not a good blocking guard. He's also really bad. That whole left side of that line is pretty fucking bad. Like the Trevor Penning, and if they really wanted to do it, I would put Ruiz over on the left side and then have Hurst on the right side, just because you would offset these tackles. Ryan Ramczyk is the best right tackle in the game. But if you put Hurst over there, then you will give him some help to alleviate that situation. You can't have two new guys on the left side. That is not going to work, and that is not going to help us. So going into next Monday, technically I'm not going to be able to watch the game because I'm going to be at a concert, Drake concert. But I will be watching it after I get home and probably watch the game when I get home. I know it's two games on next Monday. We come on first. Um, yeah, today my takeaway from the Saints is that we won. We won. We won a close game, very close game. But watching the other teams in the division, Carolina is the only team that lost this today. Tampa Bay beat Minnesota, but that's more on to me Minnesota than it is Tampa Bay. Um, and Atlanta beat Carolina, which they should have beaten Carolina because they're at home. And Carolina's defense did not show up, but I do expect Carolina's defense to be better being at home. I expect Carolina's defense to be better, being at home, having more of an advantage. Bryce Young will be at home, be more comfortable in the pocket, maybe more comfortable around situations. But with the pass rush I saw today for the Saints, which is something we haven't had, and also creating turnovers, we have not had that in some years. Where we can actually create turnovers. Yes, we had some turnovers ourselves. Derek Carr throwing a pick, Rashad Shaheed literally fumbling the fucking ball on the opening fucking kickoff, which is another thing, bro. Just take the fucking false start. Like, just take the 25. Like, we don't need you to run the ball out every fucking game. Just take the 25, take the fair catches. We're good. This offense can move. We just gotta stop putting ourselves in, shooting ourselves in the foot. We shot ourselves in the foot a lot today. Rashad Shaheed, thank the guy, the defense, and I knew right there and there when the defense stopped them right out the gate, and only allowed 3 points on the board right out the gate. I'm like, oh shit, this defense is different. This defense is a little bit better. Um, like I said, next week I'll talk about that. I'll probably even preview the week 2 matchup. Probably next Sunday. Um, talk about it. But yeah, Saints, we won. Who that nation? We got one. We got a win. Hopefully, hopefully, because now the next you got to realize the next 3 games for us. No, the next 2 games is Carolina Monday night, and then Green Bay next in a Sunday, and then we got Tampa Bay week 4. So we shall see how this all plays out. Until then, celebrate because we got to win. I know they went crazy on Bourbon Street when the game was over. So we got to win. Week 2, Carolina Monday night, and I see y'all there. Until then, this is bleed black and gold. We got a dub, 1-0. Hopefully we get this is just a stepping stone to Vegas. Till then, I'm Brandon Janeau. Peace.